Hey, I got something I want to show you guys out here in my shed. Yeah. This is a box for 412s with a 10-inch arrow port cut out. That's like a 15-inch hole, but that's for the 10-inch arrow port from like badass ports, big ass ports. And this thing's big. 27 inches tall. 27 inches tall. 44 inches from here to down there. And then 27 from here to here. 41 by 24 by 21. That's my measurements. 41 side to side, 24 up and down, 21 deep. Inside there's two 21-inch 2x4s, which would be 1.5 inches by 3.5, and that's all that's picking up internal volume besides the subwoofers. So there's all the numbers. And then the subs that I'm going to put in here are the 305 Deathbots Apocalypse 305 12s. Internally 41 by 24 by 21 this way. That's internal with the two 1.5 inch by 3.5 inch 2x4 studs that are 21 inches long. So there's all of the measurements. Yep. All right. Figuring 41 by 24 by 21. And then dividing that by 1728, we end up with 11.958 cubic feet minus 0.127 cubic feet for the bracing, and then divided by 4 per sub, we end up with 2.915 cubic feet per sub. Now that is not taking into account the port, which is going to take up a lot of volume. All right, guys, so in the last video I talked about my voltage being a little bit wonky, and I'm pretty sure that my GP alternator is not charging, and there's nothing, I mean, isn't burned up or melted or anything like that. And I've exposed this. I've got the wire in here where I could test the voltage. I know it's getting 12 volts. So I got a hold of Tyler at GP, and he's going to take care of it. So no problem. He's going to come by here and help me with this and get this thing warranted, and I'll have it back in a week or two. But we both of us think it's probably just a regulator, which is a minor thing, really. But the fact that I can, you know, I made that phone call and bam, you know, it's getting handled instantly. That's testament to GP's customer service and their overall business practices. So the simplest way I have to test this is really simple. I got my breaker opened over here so that I'm not getting any power from this alternator onto this circuit, which goes back to my battery, back to my headway. So while I have that breaker disconnected and that secondary, or that stock alternator is not hooked up, we can start the vehicle. Now you'll see the voltage shoot up down here. This is from the stock alternator and the stock battery. But back here it's sitting at 12.7, right? They ain't moving. here and add this alternator to this circuit. Here it dropped down. Now that alternator is charging, and the voltage comes down up here because it's also charging back here. You can see now we're up to 13.1, and we'll steadily go up. And that's because I added that factory alt. And this will go up and be a few volts below, a few tenths below the back one. And we're up to 12.9 here and 13.3, and that's because that factory alternator is doing its thing. So that's how I know there's an issue with it. What I don't know is what the issue is, but Tyler at GP seems to think that it is probably the voltage regulator. And so we shall be free. And in case you guys are wondering why my voltage was down to 12.6, 12.7, it's because while I have this alternator in the circuit to charge that, it also puts that battery in the circuit, which is just a standard lead acid battery, and its resting voltage is around 12.6. So it's going to continuously limit the lithium from holding a long charge, because that lithium is going to bleed into that, and over time it's just going to, voltage is going to settle down to the resting point of that battery, and that's why that's a thing. All of this is also why I did this the way I did it, is so that I could take in or take out either alternator to the circuit, and temporarily solve issues that I was having for whatever reason. So that is what's going on. We're getting ready to pull this bad boy out. This probably won't be on this video because I'm going to upload this video ahead of time, but I'm going to pull this out. Probably I might have it on video. I don't know yet, but I'm going to pull it out probably in the next couple of days, and we'll put a factory alternator in here just to keep the belt wrapped properly, and it'll just provide a pulley essentially, and that's how we're going to be until we get the alternator back. So there's that. Anyway, just getting you guys out a little bit of a update here on what's going on with the electrical, so y'all know how this is all playing out, and giving you the heads up on GP standing behind their gear and taking care of it and sorting out an issue that I've got without any drama, just straight up being awesome.